sun hesitates above the river, Ayodhya wakes like a held breath. Today, something older than kings walks its streets. They call it a city of gods. They call it a city of men. Both names are true. Houses lean toward the river. Lamps lean toward dawn. The palace stands like a promise. But promises are questions too. In that palace lives identity, a throne, a lineage, a voice that has always asked the same thing. Who will answer? The answer walks in slow steps. Rama is a name that holds a river of meaning. He is a son. He is a prince. He is a man taught every night to love what is just. He carries a quiet that makes swords listen. Bharata is a son who smells like sandalwood and duty. Lakshman moves like a shadow that never leaves a lamp. Sita is a quiet light that makes even fierce hearts softer. Dasharatha is an old tree, rooted and tired. The conflict is not a clash of armies. It is a clash of loyalties. A promise made in private. A word that bends like a reed when the wind is right. The king's vow becomes a rope. The rope binds more than limbs. It binds destiny. Destiny here is not a distant script. It is a guest. It sits at the edge of the fire. It watches faces. It counts the small acts. Destiny notices choice. A queen asks for one thing. A father remembers a pledge. A brother hears the echo of a voice calling him home. Each act seems small. Each act tilts the world. This is how great storms begin, with a single dropped cup. Identity meets choice. Rama is asked to leave, not because he wants ruin, but because he will not break what is right. He chooses exile. He chooses the forest. He chooses a path the heart does not want. For the soul, it must keep. That is the first turning of the wheel. The city trembles. Lamps stay lit longer. Mothers fold their saris slowly. Children ask questions they cannot name. The palace watches its future walk away. A city's breath changes when virtue becomes a decision. Bharata refuses the crown. He refuses the easy rule. He refuses comfort for the sake of truth. He sits at a distance and weeps for the throne he will not take. His grief is a fierce prayer. Destiny walks with a quiet staff. It carries names on its shoulders. It places tests like stones on the path. It does not force. It simply clears what is untrue. People call this fate. Elders call it Dharma. Children call it wonder. There is a moment when Ayodhya realizes it is not only a place that remembers kings. It is a place that remembers stories. Stories keep memory alive. They teach how to bend without breaking. Rama in the forest learns what city walls cannot teach. He learns hunger that sharpens prayer. He learns the language of trees. Lakshman learns how to keep a brother whole. Sita learns how light can find you even when you turn away from the path. Cities are private transformations. They are public miracles.
Conflict returns, as storms always do. The world tests what the heart has learned. The exile becomes a compass. The compass points back to Ayodhya. News moves like wind. Stories of integrity travel faster than armies. People begin to shape their hope around one name. In the city, candles multiply. Old men practice standing straighter. Young men train their hands to help and not to fight. The people of Ayodhya do something remarkable. They become keepers of a story, waiting without owning it. This is the city's sacrifice. Choice becomes clearer. Something in the palace now knows the shape of courage. It sits not in pomp. It sits in the small decisions of ordinary days. A god who once laughed now stands with a different weight. A poet writes verses that smell like saffron and sorrow. Bharata returns to the empty throne. He places Rama's sandals upon it. He sets himself as a servant to a promise. He rules with the humility of someone who holds a borrowed position. The city watches and learns how to honor absence. Ayodhya changes, not with trumpets, not with parades. It changes in its bones. The market becomes gentler. The river carries kinder whispers. Destiny moves through it like a hand that smooths a rough stone. Change is the true reward of hardship. It is what makes simple men into legends. Rama's return, or his continued absence, is not the end. The end is impossible in a place alive with meaning. Instead, a deeper awakening grows. People begin to measure greatness by service. They begin to measure success by truth. Sita's presence becomes the mirror for a city's conscience. Lakshmana's loyalty becomes a lesson in fidelity. Bharat's restraint becomes a map for rulers who will come after. Each life is now a chapter in a teaching that will ripple beyond bloodlines. The city becomes a classroom. Destiny touches Ayodhya and leaves a different city behind. It leaves streets that whisper a new vocabulary: duty, compassion, restraint. It leaves mothers who tell children a different kind of bedtime tale. Tales that praise the courage to choose rightly. Destiny did not destroy, it refined. There is an evening when the palace windows look the same, but the view inside is altered. Men who once counted riches now count promises kept. Women who once feared the future now guide it. The very air seems to bow toward virtue. Now listen closely. Destiny is not a stranger. It is a witness. It does not force. It watches choices and, with a patient hand, opens doors to new possibilities. Ayodhya learned to hold its story without choking it. It learned to let heroes be human. There is one final image I want you to carry. Imagine a single sandal on an empty throne. Not because it claims power, because it holds a promise. The sandal is small, but promises have weight. They shape cities. They shape souls. That sandal is a history lesson made real. The chilling end is not horror. It is the silence that follows truth. On the day destiny entered Ayodhya, the city learned the cost of greatness. It learned to choose the hard thing, and in choosing, it found its own face. Remember this: destiny arrives not to crown the ready, but to reveal the ready. Ayodhya keeps walking. Its steps are quieter now. Each step remembers a name. Each step remembers a choice. The city repeats a single quiet promise: that when destiny comes, it will be met with truth.